Hi everyone, it's Alice, and today we're doing a little TBR. And the thing that all of these books have in common is that they have autumnal covers, which, like, any excuse to make a TBR and talk about autumnal books, I'll take. So here we are. You probably know by now that autumn is my favorite season, and not only do I love the food and the weather and the clothes, I also just love the aesthetics of it. Like, I love how it looks, so of course I love an autumnal book cover as well. So I've gathered up the ones that I have on my shelves that are the most autumnal looking, and I thought I would just show them to you. And I also thought I would show you some of my autumn bookmarks because I love a good autumnal bookmark as well, and I have a good little, like, selection of them. So I thought I'd show you those as well because if you clicked on this video wanting to see autumnal book covers, I'm guessing you'll also be interested in the bookmarks. Alright, let's get into the books though. We have quite a mix of things and I haven't really organized them that well, so I'm just going to go through them as they appear in the stack. And the first one is The Headmaster's Wife by Thomas Christopher Greene. This is a novel about, like, loss and love, I think, and it has a beautiful autumnal cover, and it's set at a school, and you know how much I love an academic setting. It follows the headmaster at this elite school in Vermont, and he loves this place and he loves his job, and he actually, I think his father was headmaster before him, and now he is, but it's also becoming the place of his undoing, and I'm not entirely sure how old this guy is, but I'm guessing he's, like, elderly because he's found naked and confused in, like, a park by the school, and he's taken in by police, and then he starts, like, talking and telling the story of his life and his marriage, and it's all about his wife and love, and there's been some sort of tragedy, I think. It says it's part mystery, part love story, and it's all about home and family, and it just sounds very interesting. I'm very interested in learning about the life of this headmaster, and I'm pretty sure this school is also a boarding school, and we get to learn more about that as well, which all of this just sounds perfect for me. Secondly, we have The Pumpkin Spice Café by Laurie Gilmore. And this is like a contemporary romance book, and it's about this main character who gets given a cafe by her aunt, which is, like, that's pretty crazy. And she decides to leave her desk job to go run this cafe, and it's in a small town, and she's like a ray of sunshine, and there's a local farmer or something in this town who's very grumpy, and I'm sure we all know where this is going. The thing with this book is I got it, I think, the year that it came out. I don't entirely remember, but I saw this cover and I read the title and I heard that it was a little cozy, so I was like, that sounds great. It is a romance, and I knew that, and I'm not a huge romance reader, but sometimes I enjoy these kinds of books. But since I got this book, I have read some reviews, and it makes me think that I'm not really gonna like this one, to be honest. I'm gonna try it though, which maybe sounds weird to, like, try a book that you think you're probably not gonna like, but I just want to give it a go. I can't let go of it until I've tried it. And maybe it'll be like a fun hate read. I don't know. Maybe I won't hate it. Maybe I'll actually love it. But I'm a little apprehensive, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. The cover and the title I do really like. Then we have a classic. It's Frenchman's Creek by Daphne du Maurier. And it is maybe a little bit of a stretch to call this an autumnal cover, but it feels autumnal to me because of the colors. So when I thought of this video and I was thinking of books, I was like, yeah, this fits into that. I don't know if it entirely does, but we're just gonna go with it. And I think that this is a little gothic, which does feel autumnal. This is apparently some kind of adventure, which I don't know if I knew when I bought this book, because I, like, collect these editions and I was like, oh, it's Daphne du Maurier, so I kind of just picked it up. But I think it's set in the 17th century, and we're following a woman who gets tired of London life and, like, London society, so she moves to this, like, place in Cornwall, and it used to be the base of this, like, infamous pirate, and I think that the pirate shows up one day and they fall in love. I don't really know, and then they go on some sort of adventure. It actually sounds absolutely perfect for me, and I think it sort of slipped me by what this book was actually about. But some of you have recommended this to me, and now that recommendation makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I really want to read this one. I love a good adventure story, and, like, pirates are really fun, and I do like Daphne du Maurier, and I want to read more of her books, so I think I might end up loving this one. I've had it for probably like 10 years, so I should definitely read it. Then we have a mystery thriller type book. It's Dark Things I Adore by Katie Lattari. And this one has two timelines. One is set in 1988 at this elite arts camp where there's a lot of dark ambition and secrets going about, and I think someone ends up dying at that camp. And then the other timeline is set in 2018, where this esteemed arts professor is going to his students' house to see like their graduate arts collection, and I think this house is like kind of remote, and he gets there and it seems like this student has some other plans for the weekend. I'm guessing the professor was probably at the arts camp and maybe had something to do with something, I don't really know, and maybe the student has found out. It sounds interesting though, and I do like the idea of this arts camp. I don't know if this is actually set in autumn, I'm just getting that vibe from the cover, but either way I think it will be interesting. It sounds very mysterious. We're back with another classic. It's Halloween Party by Agatha Christie, which is obviously perfect for spooky season. I've had this book for years now, and every October I'm like, I gotta remember to read that book, and every October I forget. And I feel like I need to read this when it's like close to Halloween, and that window is quite small, but I just feel like it has to happen in that time. I think that will add a lot to the experience. So one day, one October, I will read this. Maybe I'll do it this year, but I feel like I say that every year and then it doesn't happen, so I don't know. This is a Poirot mystery though, and the story is about this teenage girl who tells this story. I think she's at a Halloween party or like a Halloween dinner or something, and she tells the story of how she once saw someone get murdered and no one believes her, and so she storms off because no one believes her, and they kind of like make fun of her. And then a few hours later, she's found dead. And obviously, Poirot has to figure out who has done it. I'm guessing someone at the party is the murderer because maybe they understood that they were talking about them. I don't know. But I love Poirot as a character, so I'm sure this will be great. I just need to read it and like remember to read it at the right time. Moving on, we have Now She Is Witch by Kirsty Logan, and this is a truly beautiful cover. I love this whole thing, like I'm obsessed with it. It has like a moon, these leaves, mushrooms, some animals, a dagger, which is interesting, and I just think it's just so beautiful. Like I wish all books looked like this. And it has witches in it, which makes it even better. It follows two characters, and to be honest, I'm not totally grasping what this book is about, I think, but one character is like wandering lost in the woods after having lost everything, and the other character like finds them and takes them in. And I think the one who takes the other one in is like an expert in poisons, and they come together somehow. I think they're both witches. I don't really know, but I'm sure it'll be great. This is also historical fiction, but I don't know when it's set exactly, but I really like Kirsty Logan, so I think I will really like this. And it has witches, it has this beautiful cover. I feel like it just must be good. Then we're back with more dark academia with A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. And I read somewhere recently that this is like If We Were Villains meets The Craft, which if it's anything like that, that's very exciting. I never fully trust those kinds of things because I feel like very often they're wrong, but if it's like that, that would be really cool. And I do really like this cover. It has autumnal leaves on it, and it's very like dark academia and a little weird, which I like. It follows a main character who returns to the school for her senior year after having been gone for a while because her girlfriend tragically died. And so she like took a break from the school, I think. And she's back and she's moving into this dormitory that is rumored to be haunted by these 5 girls who may or may not have been witches. And I think what happens is that history starts repeating itself and people start dying. I don't really know what that means, but it sounds interesting. There's mention of some occult stuff, which is also interesting. And I just feel like this has a lot of elements to it that I could like. I think we're actually following 2 characters. The other one is like in her first year at the school, and it sounds a little mysterious, a little spooky, a little witchy, and it has like dark academia vibes. I feel like it must be good. Then we have another witchy book. Actually, the next few are all witchy books because I love reading them and I can never get enough of them. This one is called The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin. And all I really know about this one is that like the magic system is all about the seasons. So a witch's magic is like connected to one season usually, but our main character is an ever witch and her magic is tied to all seasons. And I think we follow her through an entire year and through all 4 seasons, and she goes through quite a lot in that year. I've been recommended this book a lot though, so I'm kind of basing my thoughts around this and the fact that I'll like it just on people's recommendations. So yeah, this pops up like every few months someone will recommend this to me. So I feel like if all of these people are telling me I'm gonna like it, I probably will. At least I hope so. I do think the idea of like seasonal magic is really cool. Next we have Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood, and this one is again about a witch who I think she's kind of burnt out. I think maybe she works in a bookstore and this job is low-key killing her a little bit. And she is a witch, but she's struggling with her magic. And then her 30th birthday is arriving, and she gets like a summons to her coven, and she needs to go through a trial to like prove her worthiness as a witch. And that is not coming at a great time because her life is not that great, and I think her magic is like spazzing out a little bit. This does have some romance in it as well, I'm pretty sure, but apparently it's a slow burn, which I can be into occasionally. And obviously this cover is very autumnal. I've actually seen several covers for this book and they're all like very autumnal and pretty and kind of like in a similar style, but I really like it. I've seen one where I think there's like a girl sitting in a window that I think is really pretty and has like autumn trees in the background. There is also a cat on this cover, so I hope there's a cat in the book. That would be great. And I think this will just be like a nice, cozy, probably a little romantic read with some magic. And I think when I'm in the mood for it, this will be perfect. Second to last for the books, we have one that I got very recently. It's The Bell Witches by Lindsey Kelk. And this has a beautiful, beautiful cover. And it may have had something to do with why I got this book. I saw this cover and like the title has witches, so I just figured I would probably like it. And I love this like design and I love the bird. It's so beautiful. It follows a girl whose father tragically dies, and I think she ends up having to live with some other family members who are living in Georgia, so she has to move there. And she gets to this house and it's beautiful, but there's something a little bit weird about it, and it seems like her family members are hiding something, and I'm guessing it's something magical, maybe. Then she meets this guy, and that complicates things, and that's all I really know. I think that the family members are witches, I'm guessing. And apparently this is kind of like gothic, which I'm really into. And it says on the back here, there's no magic greater than family. And I do love books about like family relations and oh, it has like illustrations in the beginning of the chapters. I love when books have that. It's like a nice little touch. And they're different for each one. I love that. Lastly, we have a book that I actually just got, so this is a little bit of a sneak peek because I haven't even hauled this book yet. It's A Dark and Secret Magic by Wallis Kinney, and obviously I had to get this book. I think this came out last year, and I didn't like get it in time, and I feel like this is a very autumnal book, so I was like, I need to get it when it's autumn. It's so pretty. I feel like this book was designed for me, and again, it has witches in it, so obviously. It follows a hedge witch, I think, who has curated the perfect life for herself. She lives in this cottage and she spends her days like foraging and I think making potions or something like that. And she lives with her cat, and sometimes days go by and she doesn't talk to anyone, and she loves that, which is relatable. And she just feels like she has the perfect life. But then things get a little bit complicated when her sister asks her to like host the coven's like Halloween gathering or something like that, which is like their biggest gathering of the year. And that's a little bit stressful, and then this guy from her past shows up, making things even more complicated. And there is mention of like a dark magical tome which is written in blood. So it seems like her peace is being disturbed, and I feel bad for her. But I think it will be an interesting read. A lot of you have also recommended this book to me, so I think I'm gonna love it. And based on this cover, I think it's gonna be perfect. I do feel like I should read this soon though, because this is one of those books again, because it looks like this. I feel like I need to read it when it's October, but I have so many books that I need to read in that month, so we'll see. Hopefully this doesn't sit unread on my shelves for a really long time. Maybe I should just read it right away. But I say that about a lot of books and then I don't, so yeah, we'll see. But it is beautiful. Those were all the books that I had to show you though, but like I mentioned, I also want to show you my autumnal bookmarks, and I have probably more than anyone needs, but they're all beautiful and I love using these. I kind of use them on rotation throughout autumn and sometimes usually a little bit into winter, and I just think they're so beautiful. They make me really happy, and I pick like the one that fits the book that I'm reading the most every time. So yeah, I'm gonna show you these because they're so pretty. The first two that I have are by basically Brit, who is another booktuber who has a very cozy channel. Like, I really recommend it. And then she does like a lot of a day in her life and stuff, and she runs her own little shop and she makes really pretty things. And I have these two. I have more of her bookmarks, but these are the ones that I feel like fit autumn the most. We have this orange one with these really pretty pumpkins and like some leaves and stuff, and it has an orange tassel. And then I have this stack of books. I do use this stack of books throughout the year because it's just very pretty, but it just feels a little bit autumnal to me as well. And it has foil on it, and I love foil on anything, so obviously I love that. It also has a tassel, and both of these are just very pretty, and they're also the perfect size, I feel. It's like, yeah, they're just perfect. I did see on her shop that she has some new autumnal ones, which are beautiful. I really want to get them, but I don't really need any more bookmarks, and I'm trying not to spend so much money on things that I don't need. But she makes beautiful bookmarks, and she, like, designs them herself. She's very talented. So, yeah, I really want to get some of those new ones. Maybe I should, but either way, I love using these and they make me so happy. Then I have this one, which is like a Gilmore Girls inspired bookmark, and it's by The Woods Avenue. And I actually have several of the bookmarks from like this shop and I love them. They're kind of like an unusual size, but I actually really like using them. This is like a ticket to the Stars Hollow Autumn Festival, which is perfect. I love the design of this. It also has foil and it's just so pretty and so autumnal, and it's actually quite thick, which I really like, and has like a, it's hard to explain the texture of it, but it's really nice. I also have these two from Fleurs on Sunday, and these kind of match each other and they're very cute. This one is in like a ticket style. It's the Secret Dark Academia Society, which obviously I had to get. And then this other one is just very cute. It has like ghosts and books, and it says read more books. Which for some reason that pun really makes me laugh. It's so stupid, but I just, yeah, it makes me really happy. And these are just very cute. Lastly, I have these two from Simply Katie, and these are obviously beautiful. They're a little bit smaller, but again, it's a really good size, and they're kind of thick, and just the design of these are amazing. We have like a pumpkin spice shop kind of thing, which is beautiful. And then this other one is actually Bergen, which is a city in Norway, and it's one of my favorite places. I have a lot of family there, and it's beautiful. I feel like this design actually fits the city very well. And both of these have tassels and they're just beautiful. I do also have some other ones from this shop, and they're like spring or spring and summer related, and they are so beautiful. And whenever spring comes, I'm always excited to use them because they're so pretty. But then I also get excited for autumn when I can use these ones because they're just so beautiful. Does anyone need this many bookmarks? No. But you should see how many other ones I have. I have a lot of them. And I do actually use most of them like on rotation. And I always pick whichever one I feel like fits with the book the most, which is maybe a little bit silly, but it makes me really happy to use a pretty bookmark, so, you know, you gotta find some simple joys in life, and this is a very simple joy for me. That was it for today though. That was everything I had to show you. Now, if you know of any books with a pretty autumnal cover, I would love to know about it because I'd like to look it up and maybe add it to a little list of mine because I just love an autumnal cover. And then I don't need any more bookmarks, but if you have any recommendations for pretty autumnal bookmarks, maybe one day I'll get some more. I don't know. I don't really need it, but again, it makes me really happy to have them, so it's fine. That was it for today, though. As always, thank you very much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you soon. Bye!